A couple Sundays ago, I preached in my sermon that God is faithful. And I said that that message might sound to us like it sounded to Paul's audience, naive. And in the aftermath of the tragic shooting on Sunday, that message might now seem not just naive, but really hard to believe and understand. And so first, I just want to say that we are so grateful that no one else was hurt. We've been praying for the shooter and the shooter's family, but also for all of us, whether you were there, whether you consider your cathedral your spiritual home, all the people in our neighborhood. We've been praying for all of us because we have all been traumatized by this event. And so I just want to say that if you're having trouble right now believing that God is faithful, I want you to think about what it means to wait in Advent. In Advent, when we wait, the image is of darkness, and we are waiting in darkness. And what we are waiting for, the birth of Jesus, we call a light in the world. And think about how a light in the world operates. You don't need a lot of light to conquer darkness. You just actually even need just a little bit, even a pinhole. And so that's all we need. And that is what our faith gives us. A pinhole of light that pierces and conquers this darkness. And I just want to close with this poem by K. Ryan about a pinhole of light. We say pinhole, a pinhole of light. We can't imagine how bright more of it could be, the way this much defeats night. It almost isn't fair, whoever poked this, with such a small act to vanquish blackness. Amen.
Hi, my name is Muriel Kneeshaw.
Hi, my name is Sonia Omulepu.
I'm the co-chair of Opus.
I am co-chair of Opus, Older People Up to Something.
This year has been a challenge for all of us.
And we felt this virtual Christmas carol sing-along would bring us joy.
We welcome you to sing with gusto and to your heart's content.
During our last carol,
Silent Night,
please feel free to light a candle.
Enjoy the program.
And Merry Christmas.
Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, la 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 la.
Stephen Lee, and I'm the Vicar of the Congregation here at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. This reading is from the second chapter of Luke's Gospel. And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree that Caesar Augustus, that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, every one into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And so it was, that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Saviour, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling cloths, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men.
In fields where they A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clarke Moore. 'Twas a night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds while
visions of sugar plums danced in their heads, and Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap.
When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash.
The moon of the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday objects to below.
when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh.
And 8 tiny reindeer.
With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name.
Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen.
On Comet and Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen.
To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
As leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too.
And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof.
As I drew in my head and was turning around down the chimney, St. Nicholas came with a bound.
He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were tarnished with ashes and soot.
A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack.
His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly.
He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work.
And filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle.
But I heard him explain ere he drove out of sight.
Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Sing us, O Lord Emmanuel.
But he was early at the office next morning. Oh, he was early there. If only he could be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming late. That was the thing he had set his heart upon. And he did it. Yes, he did it. The clock struck 9. No Bob. 1/4 past. No Bob. He was full 18 minutes and a half behind his time. Scrooge sat with his door wide open, that he might see him come into the tank. His hat was off before he opened the door, his comforter too. He was on his stool in a jiffy, driving away with his pen, as if he were trying to overtake 9 o'clock. "Hello," crowed Scrooge in his accustomed voice, as near as he could feign it. "What do you mean by coming here at this time of day?" "I'm very sorry, sir," said Bob. "I am behind my time." "You are?" repeated Scrooge. "Yes, I think you are. Step this way, sir, if you please." "It's only once a year, sir," pleaded Bob, appearing from the tank. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir." "Now, I'll tell you what, my friend," said Scrooge. "I'm not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer. And therefore," he continued, leaping from his stool and giving Bob such a dig in the waistcoat that he staggered back into the tank again, "and therefore, I'm about to raise your salary." Bob trembled and got a little nearer to the ruler. He had a momentary idea of knocking Scrooge down with it, holding him and calling to the people in the court for help and a straight waistcoat. "A Merry Christmas, Bob," said Scrooge, with an earnestness that could not be mistaken, as he clapped him on the back. "A merrier Christmas, Bob, my good fellow, than I have given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family, and we will discuss your affairs this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop. Make up the fires, Bob, and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit." Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them laugh and little heeded them, for he was wise enough to know that nothing ever happened on this globe for good at which some people did not have their fill of laughter at the outset. And knowing that such as these would be blind anyway, he thought it quite as well that they should wrinkle up their eyes and grins as have the malady in less attractive forms. His own heart laughed, and that was quite enough for him. He had no further intercourse with spirits, but lived upon the total abstinence principle ever afterwards. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.
Oh,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas.